Namaste as well to you. Good morning, everybody. Hello. Good day, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. I love Art Bell, man. What do I say? I don't know if it's okay to steal his line. I mean, he's awesome, though. He's the best. I'll forever give him credit. One of the reasons I got into radio. And one of these days, too, guys, hey, I'll actually write down who did these songs. They're all, like, copyright free. I got them from YouTube. They're safe and okay to use. And kind of cool. I like them. So I need to give credit. And one of them's by this guy named like Dan Boskill. And I'm not sure if it's even one of the ones I'm playing, but kind of someone that's been a friend of the show for a long time. So anyway, good morning to everybody. Got a lot of people out there. I love it. Gonna be doing something a little bit different today. I hope you guys like it. And certainly as people kind of chime in or stream in, I should say, it'll help a little bit. But what this show is going to be is it's going to be a little more interactive. I got like 5 places within this show where I actually want your guys' feedback. I want to see your guys' answers, and that's going to be a part of kind of how we all evolve this show, this discussion, and the lessons that kind of come into play. I think it's a cool idea. I'm kind of looking forward to it. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out, but it is kind of the fun that kind of goes into, trying to come up with something that's a little more entertaining. And then we've got some cool Neville quotes, so, just give one of those a real quick kickoff. One of the things you want to consider when you're, thinking of manifestations and all these things, but if you change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Do not try to change people. They are only messengers telling you who you are. Reevaluate yourself, and they will confirm the change. So what he's saying, and this is just an awesome quote, straight and simple. When you've got issues in the world, one of the best ways you're going to find out that you're out of balance internally, that you have some issues, that you're not necessarily in line with yourself, you'll notice that people will start being meaner to you. You'll notice that you're not getting along with others. Things aren't happening kind of how you're used to. Lights are suddenly red all the time. You're like, whoa, what's going on? And all it is an indication of what's going on inside of you. So if you're seeing things outside of you, people are being weird, places are happening strange, lights, traffic, all these weird things, you're out of focus, shift what's going on inside of you, and you'll actually find what the big picture, everything changes like almost overnight. That's weird. You can like hear me on me. That's so fantastic. So that is a great quote that Neville shares with us, something to keep in mind. Now, I want to kind of just give a quick shout out to some of the people that have chimed in thus far in our adventure. But again, we've got a really cool little topic that's going to come up that I want some interactive from you guys and what your answers are and what you think is going on. So Gary, we've got you out there. Gowrie, I hope I'm saying that right. Praffel, Christine Prafel, maybe, probably. Christine, we got Maya, we've got Natrina. Sounds like that should be like a lotion, no offense. That's a beautiful word, name. Nicole, nice to see you in here. Derek is in here as well. Hello. Peter Cast, awesome. John V, and Prasanta. So very, very good group of people we've got joining us today. All right, so for the first interactive one, I want to kind of set it up a little bit with a story. And again, these are kind of meant to help illustrate some points. Hey, David, Zelina, nice to see you guys. So one thing that a lot of us have maybe considered in our lives, certainly maybe want to manifest wealth, right? But we've maybe thought about what it would be like to be a business owner. So for everybody right now out there, I want you guys to kind of put on your business owner hats and just think for a second. If I owned a business, if I actually had my own business right now, right? And I had people working for me, and I was interviewing for a job. And maybe I had budgeted for this job. We're just going to make up numbers here. But, $25 to, say, maybe $30 an hour, right? I've got a little budget. That's basically what I'm willing to pay for it. And so I'm opening the job up, and I've got 2 candidates, 2 different people. They're coming in to interview for a job. And I interview both of them. And, the job is nothing that requires any sort of extra feats of strength or anything, right? It's a pretty general job. So we're just going to make these 2 people like the same, right? So these 2 people come in, interview for the job. Ultimately, at the end of the day, both of them interview the same. Both of them are awesome. You would hire both of them. One of them says, you know what, I'd be willing to, you ask them, how much would you like to make for this job? And maybe one of them says, $23.50. And maybe the other one says $28. Now, in this particular case, in this company, I happen to need 2 people. So fortunately, I hire them both. I offer them both a job. The individual that says they wanted 28, it was in my budget. So I said, hey, I'll give you $28 an hour. Would you like this job? And they say, yeah, sure, thank you. That's awesome. And the lady that wanted $23.50, since I budgeted $25 to $30, and in all honesty, I think it's worth that. I'd rather make her happy and offer her $1.50 more than she asked for, knowing full well that she's going to be stoked. So I offer her $25 an hour. And she says, yes, that's awesome. I'll take the job. Now, the question I have to everybody, why did these 2 people get paid differently? Why do 2 different people doing the same exact job end up making a $3 an hour difference? Now, this in a window of $5, if you think about it, $3 an hour, that's like 60% difference. That's a lot, right? So that's the thing. Chime in. I just want to play this out, see how people think, but what are the reasons? What are you thinking? Because if you're trying to be successful in work, if you're trying to manifest, and I've got examples for love, but if you're trying to manifest more success, more income, more revenue in your life, more wealth, and you're going into maybe jobs, or you're trying to get jobs, and you're having these situations unfold before you where you're being offered an amount. One of the things a lot of us can do is we can look into, well, what's a right amount for that job title in the area I live or in the city I'll be working. That's some research that you can frequently do. When you go into one of these situations, you want to negotiate more money than you necessarily would be willing to, right? Like, I've gotten huge raises before because, heck, from where I'm at right now, I got a 35% raise from where I was, all because I said no 5 times. 5 times I said, nah, I'm probably not the person you guys want to hire. And as it played out, I was the person they wanted to hire. I happened to know that going into it. And I knew the budget that they had for that position. So I went for it. You ask for it, you can get it. So that's one of the cool things that kind of happens. I'm just curious if anyone actually chimed in, because I was kind of curious if we could get some people to sort of say what their thoughts were around it. But ultimately, and this one was kind of a trick question, so who knows. But you get what you asked for. That's a great point, Prasanta. Exactly. And one of the big questions is that I bring this up for is a lot of us come at things from what we're used to. We don't necessarily look to see what it's worth, to see what we can actually get. We don't see what the area around us is paying. We don't necessarily find out what this job we're seeking has for us. I had a friend recently that I was helping, and there was a $50,000 difference in pay. And she found out about it because she started interviewing the people that were going to open another branch. And she's like, wait, what? You're going to pay a new hire with none of the experience I have $50,000 more than me? Wait, what? So again, negotiations are in place. The same goes if you're trying to get that job. Know what you're going for. Understand what you're into. Go into it with a little more information. Not just the law of attraction stuff. You're using that too. But a lot of people worry about that interview. Worry about that negotiation. You need to understand, be strong. I deserve this. And if you can go into things with that sort of attitude, you'll be amazed at the differences that can happen. So hopefully just that in a little mini nutshell kind of helps out. Again, I got a few more topics. Hopefully people are going to continue to get involved. I see that some others have joined. So one of the things we're trying to do, and the first part didn't go as well as I was hoping, but I'm hoping for some interaction. I'm hoping for some answers from the audience. So I've got some other stuff coming up here that's probably a little more fun that some of you guys are going to jump in. But David's in here saying hi. I love it. Jesse, one's own perception of individual self-worth. That's exactly it. You're 100% right. We had one person come in and say it's what they thought, believed they could get and deserved. That's exactly it. This is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. So yeah, the fact that so many people kind of accept what they offer, or I don't know, give me what you will. Like when you're going for a job, when you're going for a position, know what you're worth. Know what you're doing going into it. Be in that middle range, especially if you know your stuff. Push it up a little bit But know that range. Be in the middle of it. Even if it's way the hell more than you're making, just talk up, what your current experiences are. Give it a hair up. Everybody kind of steps it up a notch when you interview. But that's definitely one of the keys and how you can get a big bump. Again, example, 35% raise, huge raise. And it was going back to a company I already worked at. And so again, you can do these things when you set the bar and say, this is what it's got to be. This is how it needs to be. You do all your imaginal work. You imagine from the end. You know what it's like to make that kind of money. And boom, you go into it. It's fantastic. Good morning, everybody. Loving it that you're joining in. We've got Julie Matthews is in here. Gary's chairman. That's no, Dan. What do you think what do you do when they find out? Well, no, that happens all the time. That's why you have rules in business, Gary, that you don't tell people what they make. But fact of the matter is, I had a budget. And I would say to both of them, well, I asked you what you wanted when you started the job. You said you wanted 25. You asked for 28. I gave you what you asked for. Actually, you asked for $23.50. I gave you $1.50 more. Why are you upset? So again, it's one of those things where they do ranges. And that's how business works. And believe me, people working side by side in every company are making different money. And generally speaking, when you talk about it, it creates all sorts of problems. And it usually doesn't work out well in the corporate world. So yeah, that's how it goes. You've been an employer for 32 years. I understand it. Well, I don't know. I've been working for that long, so I don't know if I agree with you. But anyway, well, cool. We can live to disagree. I'm happy with that. Yeah. So that being said, let's see. Am seeing what I'm trying to manifest in my dreams, or hear people talk about it indirectly. What does it mean? Well, that's not even kind of sort of on topic. So yeah, again, we are going to try to move. We're going to try this in a slightly interesting direction. Got another cool quote from Neville Goddard. We'll see how this one plays out. An awakened imagination works with a purpose. It creates and conserves the desirable and transforms or destroys the undesirable. A lot of us come at life. That's why we're into manifestation. That's why we're watching channels similar to this. It's why we watch videos on these same topics. And an awakened imagination, it's someone who's actually acknowledging the fact that they know they're partaking in the world around them. When you've come at life knowing that what I'm thinking, what I'm imagining, what I'm spending time focusing on actually has a purpose and actually creates what I desire. And if I have things in my life that I dislike or things that I don't want, a lot of people are like, no, just say it doesn't exist. Don't look at it. It can't. If you don't talk about it, it can't exist. And it's like, well, it already does exist. So how do you deal with it? Well, you transform it. And you use imagination to transform an existing object. If you look at a sculptor, they take a block of rock and essentially remove the parts that aren't the statue, right? They remove the parts of the block that are not the bust or the statue or the head or whatever the heck you're making out of marble or block of stone in said example. So Neville's totally on money, as always, with his fantastic stuff. All right, let's see. We got some questions here. Someone was asking, so I've still got you highlighted, Priyo. You're seeing what you're trying to manifest in your dreams, or you hear people talk about it indirectly. When you hear people talking about stuff that you're close to, that you're trying to manifest. So, okay, let me take a step back. When you're manifesting things, what typically happens in a lot of cases is you think about what it is that you desire. You spend time in that imaginal state. And when you spend time in that imaginal state, it makes you very aware of that concept, of that idea, of that filter. I've talked about it frequently. It's like you take your glass and you're like, all right, I got this filter on of love, right? And now all of a sudden, everywhere you look, you're seeing love and little puppies licking people's faces and people hugging in magazines and weddings. And you're like, what the heck? There's love everywhere. And it's because that's the focus that you've put on. And it means that that's what you're resonating with, it, what you're equal to right now, what you're behaving at. Essentially, the filters you see tend to be where you're coming at. Now, beliefs come into play, so if you have crazy beliefs, they can override some stuff and vice versa. But generally speaking, yeah, it kind of indicates what you're seeing around you. So hopefully that kind of helps out a little bit. Let's see, Christine too. I think it too, if you think you're worth a lot, it makes you more attractive to other persons and they may be willing to offer you more. It's 100% true. I knew I could have taken way less. They offered me way less. I know they pay others way less. And I'll tell you what, I don't tell people what I make. Yeah, that's just the way the world works, man. I have stepped up amazingly in the old career world. And on top of that, have other ventures that are paying quite well. So that's the success I'm speaking from. You've got 32 years of business. Gary, maybe you know better. I don't know, but I'm telling you, it's working great for me. So not bad advice. Let's see, Nicole, you can always sell your value in areas where you see a benefit beyond where they're looking for and willing to pay more for it. That, I think, is always true. You know, I'm going to say one thing, too, in the realm of manifesting success in my life. One of the biggest things that I've done when it's come to work. Well, again, step back. Let me qualify this a hair. During the Great Depression, which I always kind of considered one of the greatest examples of the worst economic situation that have happened in the United States, at least. Right? And at that point, unemployment was like 25%, which meant 1 out of 4 people were out of work. Which, from my standpoint, I always looked at it like, so long as I'm not even close to the bottom 25%, I never have anything to worry about. And I've always just kind of been a go-getter, a hard worker, and blah, 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 conscientious, everything. But you're right. When you bring additional things, you know, I was in I worked in grocery out in Tennessee when I was out there for radio, and I was doing some part-time work because radio paid horribly. And one of the things that was really funny is out there, hardly anyone spoke any Spanish, but there was a lot of agriculture. So we had some people that came into the area that tended to not speak English very well, that spoke Spanish. And I was able to sort of, you know, like a 5-year-old, but I mean, I speak horrible Spanish, but I speak it well. My pronunciation is amazing. My vocabulary is like an infant. But that being said, I was able to kind of work through it, and it was just so funny to watch how they were like, oh my, wow, like nobody could believe it. It was unreal. So yeah, it's good stuff when you can bring extra. Rich, welcome from Thailand, man. That's awesome. I would love to go out there. I've heard it's really amazing. Let's see, David, I'm trying to manifest my SP and focus on black cats. I now see black cats everywhere. Yesterday I was speaking to my SP and a black cat named sat next to us. A black cat came and sat next to us. Do you believe in signs? I absolutely believe in signs. I just did a video, oddly. And by the way, people, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please like this video first off. Please subscribe if you can. And hit the little bell notification if you actually like the stuff I do. And you'll be notified when I do more things. Do I believe in signs? Yes. And the reason I just did that spiel is because I just did a video on signs like yesterday. I do believe in them, but, and people always get angry and they want to like jump all over you. But Goddard talks about signs. Signs do not precede. It's the thoughts of the thing that you're manifesting creates synchronicities in your life. And it's one of the ways you kind of know you've got the right filter on. So when you're manifesting something and you start to see things that are in line with that happen to be synchronistic or signs, then yes, those are indications that you're on your way. If by chance you're focusing on manifesting a sign to mean something, you're actually manifesting the thing and you're putting meaning on it, but that doesn't necessarily, like you're manifesting a cat, maybe. And I'm not saying this is how you're playing it might be. And if you're thinking of a cat and manifesting a cat and focusing on cats and you're like, yes, I'm going to manifest a cat and that's going to mean that she loves me. No, kind of what you're doing is you're manifesting a cat using your manifesting abilities. The universe doesn't care why you're doing what you're doing. It doesn't not do what you're doing because you said it's supposed to show you something. The universe manifests what you focus on. It's just how manifestation works. So if we're manifesting something and we're saying, but it's supposed to mean this if it happens, no, it doesn't happen like that. You will manifest that thing, period. You can say it means whatever you want. That's fine. It doesn't matter. It's still going to manifest. And it won't necessarily mean that. It's just you're saying, I want to manifest a black cat. Hope that helps. Let's see. Miss Hill. And I think we're going to do one more question, and then I've got another cool little interactive thing that I want to try to get you guys in. Hi, Dan. How do you manifest your desire when you are surrounded by negative people and are not supporting you and raise objection like you can't do that? And feel like they are resistant. Thank you. So I feel like there's a few things in here. One, I mean, you're going to have physical surroundings of people that don't necessarily believe in you. First thing is likes attracts likes, typically, right? So if these people all around you don't believe in you, then most likely you don't really believe in you either. And so I would consider, no offense, and hopefully you're okay. Hopefully you're still here. Hang on. Whoa. Hopefully you take a look at yourself and go, well, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't feel like I deserve this, or maybe I don't think I can do this, right? Maybe you're a little negative on the subject, and so that's why the world around you, you keep handing people scripts and saying, hey, can you play this part for me? You're horrible. You suck. Thank you. Hey, you, can you say this? You're the worst. Oh, you're the best. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for playing a part in my play. You're the one that's creating the projection of what's going on around you. So when you have a lot of negative people, it's probably because there's a bit of negativity that's coming from within. And so, yes, I feel like there maybe is a bit of this, I'm objecting, I'm sure I can, and there's a bit of a mental struggle inside, but ultimately maybe you don't really believe yourself. Now, I think I would come at it from the standpoint, look myself in the mirror, like I love the mirror technique, it's one of my favorite, but it's like just really just, I am awesome, I deserve this, I do believe this. And maybe you just really need to say that to yourself a bunch of times and get your conscious and subconscious to at least play nicely most of the time. And when you do that, you'll start to see that the people in your life, the people that show up around you, will actually be a really, really good example of what you're being right now. And if you're being better, you'll notice better people, or the same people behaving differently. It was the quote I gave earlier with Neville Goddard. Change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Do not try to change people. They are only messengers telling you who you are. Reevaluate yourself and they will confirm the change. You want to change something outside of yourself, you must change inside yourself. So if you're seeing something you don't like, it's not their fault. Hopefully that helps. All right, here's the next little interactive thing that I wanted to try to pull off, guys. We'll see how this goes. But again, I'm going to ask a question in here, and I want you guys to chime in. So this one's a real easy one, so it's going to be more of an I am statement. So I want everybody to get ready. And what I'm thinking of is your strength. Now, if you're here to manifest success, if you're here to manifest money, you're here to manifest expansion, love, a specific person, whatever it is, I don't particularly necessarily care what your thing is, but what I do want is I want you to think of an I am statement that speaks to your strength. Do you have a strength? Now, again, I led this in the direction intentionally that I want this to be towards what you're manifesting, I'm hoping. And so if you do have an I am statement with the strength, I am this, I am that, and it's something that you're good at. Example with me, and it can be a number of things, but pick one that you want to go with at the moment that applies maybe most towards the thing you're manifesting. But, I got a decent sense of humor. I mean, some would say I'm not funny, but whatever. I don't care. They're not funny. But I love theater. I love acting. I love partaking. I love speaking. I love engaging. I love the whole thing. Like I've had customer service jobs for 30 plus years. Like I just love the whole interaction with other human beings. There's something just marvelous about the whole experience. So those are strengths that I share. So what are some of the strengths that you guys have? What are some of the things, your I am statements that help? I am creator. Maya, that is amazing. Now I'm curious, and you can chime in. I'd love to hear. Is it more like an art, or you creator in the standpoint of, what is your creator? I love it though. It was a perfect answer. I'm just curious. You got me thinking. I am good at calming people down. Oh man, I feel so much better. You're right, Christine. You're right. I feel freaking fantastic. You like to make people feel better, and I'm also good at problem solving. Excellent. Good for you. That's very, very good. Paul, I am totally fed by helping other people. Me too, man. Paul, I am 100% on board with that. That is a great kind of strength to have, and certainly a lot of ways you can make that work for you. That's for sure. Derek Martis, I create through my imagination. That's fantastic. I love it. And that's a fun thing, right? Is it not? It's that whole idea of bringing something to the fruition. Like, I'll be honest, the stupid thumbnail I made for this show today, I had so much fun doing that. It's not necessarily the best. It's not necessarily perfect. There's all sorts of stuff with it that could be better, but I had fun. I liked what it represented. Anyway, I have issues. I want you all to know that. I'm going to come out and be very straight with you. But yeah, it's fantastic. Living Wellness, I am a master manifester. That is so awesome. Thank goodness you're not talking about fishing and putting a bait on a hook, because that would have been inappropriate. Maya, I am an artiste, but I use my ideas to create needed items. I like that. That's fantastic. I am full of blind faith and believes in the unseen. North Star 143. That is fantastic. I like it. Sharon Combs, I have a magnet for my desires. I am a magnet for my desires. That is a great attitude to have. That for everybody that's out there listening. I am a magnet for my desires. Money flows through me. Like when you just follow a few of these statements about yourself, again, I've been doing this a lot lately, and it's so powerful to keep your conscious and your subconscious aligned. So if you guys are trying to manifest a specific thing and you've got this strength, focus on that strength, capitalize on that strength. North Star is, you got it there. Sharon Combs, I am a magnet for my desires. Yes, good for you. Peter Cast, I am great at listening to people. What? Can you say that again? I'm so sorry. I didn't catch that. That's fantastic, Peter. Good for you. I am joyful and imaginative, says a Start Turtle. I am joyful and imaginative. Joy is such a great place to come at things. George Garza, can I manifest faster? Well, let's see if we get some more I am. Sorry, we'll get your question. Sarah, I am loved and I am worthy. Beautiful statements. Beautiful, beautiful. I love the way you explain, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I am great at getting things done. I love that prasanta. I hope I can get that even remotely close. I am a creator from creating something from multiple things. Gary, I like that. That's pretty cool. That's complex too. I like that. John M., I am fully worthy of everything I desire. Good for you. I have complete faith in myself and the universe. North Star. That was an excellent follow-up. Augustine Junior Bia Gomez. I love myself. Dude, that's like the best answer. No offense. That really is. You cheater. You're a cheater. Coming in just like, yeah, I'm going to sneak in at the tip top. Y'all aren't even playing properly. And I disagree because you guys are doing what I wanted, but that is cheating. That's the best answer, though. Nicole, I am. Next following words will shape your world. Amen, girl. You are right. All right, let's see here. I am proud of myself. That is a great place to come in. All right, so with that, kind of was exactly how I wanted this interaction to go. Got another few of these, so hang tight. And like I said, I'm just trying to stretch a little, trying to put in some questions, and trying to make this a little more fun and entertaining for those of us that are hanging out. And so that was one of the fun things there. I thought that we could spend time with. All right, so here's another great Neville quote that I wanted to jump in. A little Goddard goodie, a Neville nugget. If a man looks upon any other man and estimates that man as less than himself, then he is stealing from the other. He is stealing the other's birthright, that of equality. This kind of tied into a video I did recently about a lady that injured herself because she had a bit of a relationship with the janitor, and she was a school teacher. Janitor, kind of grumpy towards her maybe, put the chairs up on the desk and never took them off. Following day, teacher comes in, she's like, chairs aren't on the desk. I'm over exemplifying it because she sounded much nicer than what I'm playing it out as. But then she takes the chair off and whack, hits herself, hurts herself, all sorts of cool stuff comes through it. And a lot of it was because these two people had an inappropriate, and I don't mean that in the way I'm used to hearing it, but they had an understanding of each other that was incorrect. He had an understanding that she didn't like him, and really it wasn't the case. She was actually had this understanding from another teacher that the janitor had a problem with her. So we had this weird, he said, she said, and so both of these people disliked each other without knowing that really neither of them had an actual problem with each other. So it's kind of funny how sometimes when we hold things about others that aren't necessarily positive, we actually cause problems. Now, people were maybe wondering at some point, what are you talking about? Unlock your inner magic, Dan. This is what I'm talking about. These exercises, the success, finding your greatest strength, getting yourself to realize that I've got this greatest strength, or the self-worth thing, realizing that if I'm going for a job, I should know what the range is of the salary. Regardless of what I currently make, what I'm going for has a range. I should know that. I should go into it and know what my worth is, know what I'm bringing to the table. And I should at least, the very least, get what I deserve. And that is how you get it. You ask. You don't necessarily assume people are going to give it to you. They can. Law of attraction works awesome in a lot of ways, but sometimes you have a desire for something and you're in a company. I had a person I was coaching that the same company was willing to offer her job to somebody else for $50,000 more. And to Gary's point that he was saying earlier, yeah, people get pissed when they find out. Yeah, she got super pissed. $50K? $50,000? Yeah. You should be paying me what? Ugh. So, yeah, sometimes it's good to know what your position pays, especially in their case where they kind of like a merger and all sorts. It was a lot of cool stuff. So anyway, there we go. Can I manifest? We'll get a couple questions in here before we get to the next interaction, if you will. Can I manifest faster using the mastermind technique? I've heard of that. I don't know a lot about it. I've done Ty Lopez stuff, which I think he's kind of in some of that mastermind stuff. I think a little, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Again, not super strong on this, but I've done a lot of mind different things, and probably from what I understand of it, yeah, it's a good technique. There's no question about it. They're charging, I think, quite a bit for it, and that sort of comes along with it. I mean, I paid decent money for the Tai Lopez. I think it was probably $500 or something crazy. But I will say, the actions it had me do every day, although weren't necessarily things that I maybe didn't know, they were awesome exercises that got me so motivated over like a 45-day period. And that's really what the whole plan was, 60-day period, I think. That was what the whole plan was all about, was getting you to get to a habitual phase of efforts and expectations and just a lot of aligning of things within ourselves. And it's amazing how powerful your manifestations are when you do that kind of stuff. So Augustin Jr. Villa Gomez. Dude, I love your name, and I just love what you bring to the table, so thank you. You say nice things about me, but I think it's just you pushed out, buddy. I'm not really this way. It's only because you're nice and others are watching that I'm actually behaving this way. It's totally him pushed out, guys. I kick puppies. I'm kidding. I don't do that. I am a creator, and yeah, there you go, multiple things. I'm sorry, I had to jump back to get some of these questions. Jump back and want to kiss myself. Ow! Let's see here. Let's see. We got any other questions? God, we got some great I am stuff. I'm so proud of you guys. I am late. Ariel, well, welcome. It's always good. Never too late for a good time. We're doing some interactive stuff, too. I think we still got about the same number of people. I don't know how long people are sticking around. Doesn't seem, whatever. But we got some other cool interactions that we'll be doing here coming up. I think I've got one that's around love. And I think this is a great little exercise that will help a lot of us kind of help manifest more love in our lives if some of us are interested in that. But I am manifesting things I didn't see coming. That's another great one. Good for you, man. What you do when desired manifestation takes too long, but you still have child kind of belief in it that it would show up soon. Any tips? So you're in contradiction with yourself. You've got this mismatch of beliefs. You believe it's taking too long. So you've got this belief that it's taking too long. You kind of feel like it's just taking too long. It's too long. It's been too long. So too long is always in the past, and it's always looking back, right? You're not really looking at right now or in the future. Where manifestation comes from is right now. Manifesting, I have it right now. I am it right now. And continue to hold that feeling until you get to that place. Now, I have done videos where sometimes we need to ask questions, but I'm going with the generality that everybody's doing what they should be doing and truly should be trying to pursue this particular relationship. So you need to hold that vision of where you guys are together. Whatever obstacles exist, when you're in the place where you're already together and you're feeling that emotion, when you're there and you're experiencing that, that actually is created past the obstacle. So the obstacle is obviously surpassed somehow. You don't know how, and we don't ever know how, and we never manifest the how because of it. That's the beauty of it. Like, right, the water through the dam will find the crack of the least resistance, right, and eventually work its way out. You can't necessarily decide where it's going to weakest point is going to happen. It just kind of finds itself, right? That's the same thing. Our manifestations find us. We find them. We find each other. And it's kind of beautiful when it happens, and especially when we can relax and sort of let it happen. So by focusing on the past and how I don't have it and how long it's been that I don't have it. I started trying this a year ago and I still don't have it. Now, like, all right, I mean, you're focused really on how you don't have it. And so you'll continue to manifest that. Again, I've talked frequently about getting your conscious and your subconscious aligned. And when you're constantly saying, it's taking forever, and then you're like, but I really want them now, your subconscious is like, all right, so no, don't give them to you, and you'll keep wanting them. You got it. I don't know why you're doing this, but it doesn't really matter. It seems like a bad idea, but you keep telling me this is what you want to do. So continuing to manifest those behaviors is oftentimes because we continue to whatever I was saying. I feel like I just lost where here. It works how it works. So yeah, Derek, what do you desired manifestation too long? Yeah, there you go. I just answered you. Cool. Azana, you had a video about loving yourself to attract love. How or where do you start? Loving yourself in a lot of cases is kind of stepping back from a lot of things and really looking at self. For me, kind of started with what do I like? What do I enjoy? And I found, for me especially, I had spent a number of years sort of focusing my whole life on helping others. And it was really hard for me to look inward and be like, whoa, what do you actually want? What do you desire? What do you enjoy? And what I found in that whole process is, one, I learned a whole bunch of really cool stuff about myself. I learned what I was into, what I'm interested in, hobbies, things that make me happy, music, get up and dance, like just a lot of aspects of myself that I remember to bring together and spend time with. And so when I do that, just in general, I tend to be a happier person. Now then, like I was talking about the strengths and whatnot earlier, a lot of times there's a big key in trying to focus on what strengths do I have? What are things that I enjoy doing? What are things that I could do for years and years and years and actually enjoy it and love it and keep doing it? So spending time kind of focusing on things that you can be proud of, that you're bringing to the table. Again, I know you might want to be a mother, you might want to have a relationship, you want to have a whole lot of I gotcha. But what happens in the self-love process is you actually get yourself more rounded out to a whole person. And when you're rounded out to a whole person, when you've got a lot going on yourself, you've got interests, you've got desires, you've got likes, you're an actually much better catch, much more attractive to another whole person who's all the things that so many of us fantasize and glamorize about. Yeah, they're going to be this, they're going to be that, they're going to be all these wonderful things, but they're going to tolerate the fact that I'm insecure, I don't like myself, I think I'm fat, I eat too much, like whatever, right? We all have our own little fidgety things we do that we're not proud of, maybe. So again, it's those things that we've got to kind of try to balance out in our lives. We've got to try to understand that we're awesome the way we are. If there are things we want to change about ourselves, let's focus on doing that. Let's do it right now. Start immediately. Like I've laughed and I've used this example many, many times, but it works really well for me. Is I'll say I need to go to the gym, right? And I've been really good lately, but I'll just say I need to go to the gym. And what'll happen is I won't go. Things will happen. I'll get busy. I won't be able to get there, whatever the case is. And I'll keep saying I need to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym. Well, the next day happens and I still haven't gone to the gym. And where I do or how I change that is I go, I am going to the gym. Done. Like, I am going to do this. I am doing this. It's no longer I need to. Now, I may not be going at that very second, but when I say I am going to the gym, usually that day, that morning, I end up going to the gym. So sometimes just the way we speak about things can shift what we experience. And that's kind of what the point of some of this stuff is. All right, we're going to try another interactions here. We're going to hop in. And for those that maybe haven't been here, asking questions. I'm trying to get people to kind of respond in the questions. And that way it kind of helps all of us sort of see what are examples, what are good, what are bad, all the above. But it also gets us all thinking, interacting, and talking about things. So for those of us that are trying to manifest love in our lives, now that could be a specific person. But that could also just be love in general. Maybe I don't even know what their face looks like. Maybe they're fuzzy when I try to imagine. How do I imagine somebody I don't know what they look like? That's just imagine love. Imagine the feeling of love, being love. Knowing that love is something you desire and something you're going to have and something I have right now because I am love. And experience that wherever you go. And when you meet people, just be love and be happy. And you will be amazed at the people that pop into your life as soon as you start behaving that way. Like the second you start being that way, all of a sudden your whole entire life changes. So what I want everybody to chime in on, what I want to hear your guys' thoughts about, what are the top 3 things you bring to the table when it comes to love? What are you relative to love? What are you? And you can do them onesie, twosies. I just want to see I am statements coming in. Start with 1 for sure. If you got 2 and 3, like Gary earlier was throwing out a couple on some of the I am stuff. So give me some of the I am statements you are around love. Even if you're trying to manifest success, by the way, in your life, maybe income in your life, it's still good to be more love. So what are some I am statements from you? I'd like to hear some of you guys chime in on some of the things. For example, I am kind. I have a good sense of I am a good sense. What is a good way to say it? I am loving. I am caring. You can even just do statements. I enjoy people. I enjoy good conversation. Yeah, we can even get into some of those things. Some of these things that you're bringing to the table that you are. That's going to be awesome for this other individual when you have, right? Like when you're in a relationship and they want to go on a walk on a beach and you're like, I hate walking. Well, that's not going to be good. Or God forbid you have a walker or something. Like those little tennis balls are not going to help you in the sand. I'm sure of it. The walker's not going to work well in the sand. So walks on the beach, person with walker, not going to work out quite right. So we're going to have to make sure we've got the proper fit right, for each other. But what are some of the things you guys love? I am giving, I am peace. Those are awesome answers. I love that. Positive pink, I am loving. And if you guys say the same thing as other, that's totally cool. Maya, I am curious, giving, and sexual. Meow. Wow, that's all sorts of fun stuff. Good for you guys. Paul, I am in the state of loving partner. I like that. I am in the state of a loving partner. And again, these are examples for others, right? For those of you out here that are like, oh, I was just typing that. It's okay. That's okay. That's an awesome answer for all of us. You guys can share these. Write ones down that you like. Copy them. Heck, they're on the screen right now. Copy and paste them into something else. And bam, look at all these awesome I am statements that you can use throughout the day to help yourself get more love. John M. Actually, I am too needy, but I am working on myself. All right, well, so understand the I am too needy part keeps that going full force. Like that's pedal to the metal. If you want to chill on that, I am working on myself. Maybe just get rid of that first part of the statement. Maybe I'd like to see you rewrite that and remove that part that's not cool, unless you want to keep being needy. So I'm just throwing that out there. The way it is, I am secure. I am comforting. I am playful. Good, good, good. That is awesome. Start Turtle. I am loyal, fun, and interesting. Very good answer. Oh, wow. Yadon Gilpin? I'm so sorry if I said that even remotely wrong. I'm pretty sure I did. I am fun to be around and adventurous. Excellent answers. Naomi Logan. I am giving, supportive, a good listener, and kind. Reminds me of a song from Steve Martin. Be courteous, kind, and forgiving. Be gentle and peaceful each day. Anyway, you guys probably don't even know this. I'm dating myself. I am loyal. I am patient. I am funny. Oh, I like that. I like the way you did that. Awesome, Sharon Combs. Goddess Angel. I am understanding, forgiving, and loving. Very good. Christina. I am generous with my love. I am deeply sincere to my love. I like. North Star 143. I put the other's needs and happiness on par with mine, and I love unconditionally. That's good times there for sure. Miss Hill. I am encouraging, supportive, great listener, and give wise counsel. Well, thank you very much for your wise counsel, madame. I am caring and giving, and I am loyal, says Ariel. Very, very good stuff. Elizabeth Roca. I am the God of my reality. That is extremely true for all of us. Vonda McKinsey. I am balanced, wise, and pure innocence. Very, very good. Valia 7449. I love giving love. Doesn't it feel good? I am the same way. I love to give some love. So I'm caring, I'm positive, I'm honest. Good stuff from George Garza. All right, we got some very good. Gary, what are you coming in with here? I'm helpful, friendly, courteous, kind. I like doing things for others. Very good. Good stuff. Living wellness. Loving yourself also involves doing great things for yourself. Like go get a massage, buy yourself flowers, sign up for a class that you've always wanted to take. It's not just affirmations. Yes, indeed. Good points. And then wanting to do the things that show yourself that you love yourself. Yeah, it's just loving yourself, taking kind care with yourself. Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. Helena, I'm full of positive energy, and I am loved and loving. Those are all excellent. Now, let's do it now. Now, what I want you guys to do is I want you to give me the things that you desire from a relationship. You can start from the top, start working your way down, but things that what you want from another. What is it that you want from this particular relationship out there? Like, is it companionship? Is it kindness? Is it conversation? Is it security, comfort? What are the things that, like the top thing that you really, really want from a relationship? Maybe the top few. I mean, you can say a couple at a time, obviously, no big deal. And the reason I'm kind of getting you to think about this is, one, I always find it's very helpful to kind of script out what really matters to us in love. A lot of times people in love, they're like, oh, I love so-and-so, oh, that's so great. But they don't really know themselves very well. Like they always say, know thyself. You don't really know what you desire so much. You don't really know what you want from a relationship. And so from a standpoint of someone else trying to have a relationship with you and not knowing what you want can be very frustrating, very difficult, can kind of like, sometimes, at least for guys, sometimes it can feel like there's not a victory in there, if you will. There's a lot of things that kind of come into play. So you want to understand what is it that you want from a relationship. So let's see if some of the answers we are getting from this now. We'll see if we're getting any answers from this. But this is part of the interactive part where you guys kind of let me know what is something I want. Security, comfort, kindness. There you go. That's how you do it. We got conversation, a teammate, sensual touch, soul to soul. Conversation. I've got humor, Loyalty, I love it. From Stuart Turtle. Unconditional love, fun, and commitment from Autumn Beauty. Nice to see you in there. Support and connection from Nicole Brandt. Now, these are some great examples. I'd still like to see a couple more kind of come in. What are some of the things that you really want from your specific person, from love, really? Because a lot of times, what we do, especially those of us that have specific people or people in mind, is we look at them and we say, what is it that I like about them? And that's not really the way you should manifest love. You should come at it from, what do I desire from a relationship? And they always talk about when you change within, it actually causes to change without. And believe it or not, when you get in alignment with yourself on what you desire, you're actually telling the universe in a way, kind of saying, I mean, energetically, really, hey, send people that are more like this. And that's what you start to experience. And so that specific person may very well begin to immediately start to interact with you in that way. And that kind of creates a whole different thing, right? So let's see what else we got in here. I desire unconditional love, honesty, faithfulness, and respect. Awesome, Goddess Angel. Paul, the God in me, touching the God in them. Thank you, thank you. That's good stuff. That sounds... I've got a dirty mind, so I'll just say that's where that went. Gary, a fun time in life like Dan is today. Thank you, sir. You're a good man. Sharon Combs, I deserve loyalty, security, fun. I deserve respect. Yes. Good for you. And you are getting you will get you have those things. How about that? But anyway, happy forever marriage and a loving family dynamic, romance, and laughter. Of course, why not? North Star 143. Thank you very much. Ease, making music, art together, cooking together, joy. That sounds like a lot of fun. The way it is. Excellent choices, Naomi. Let's see, consistency, stability, honest, and loyalty. Ariel, ooh. I want a soul connection, sexual connection, an intellectual connection, overall full human connection. I want to complete the whole. While I am whole, I want to close the circle. That's like a circle that ends but begins and never ends. It's crazy. I love it. That's actually a crazy answer, but I love your answer, Ariel. Very, very good stuff. Goddess Angel, I desire to be adored and valued. Same here, Dan. All this good stuff. All right, cool. Some kind of funny, spontaneous, passionate. Very, very good choices. Autumn Beauty, Ariel, really like that, right? That was fantastic. Now, here's the thing. Here's where I want an interaction one more time. Here's where I want all you guys to get ready to, keep chiming in. No, let's do it now. What the heck? What the heck? Let's do it now. All right, so you guys, the first step was you're giving me your I am statements of things you're bringing to the table for manifesting love, right? Here's what I'm bringing to the table. Here's where it's going. All right, and then the second step, I had you guys tell me, what is it that you want from a relationship? Now, in simple yes-no answers, how many of you had those two things even remotely close? Remotely close. How many of you actually had it on the money? And that was, by the way, for those of you that didn't quite understand the trick that I was presenting to you, that was it all along for those of you that looked ahead. Cheaters, you got the manual somehow. The test leaked. The test leaked, I say. But yes, how many of you actually had the things you're bringing to the relationship equal to the thing that you desire from the relationship? Because in a lot of cases, we're not being the thing that we desire. And that is the key to manifesting. So many of us forget to do this little exercise because you really want to make sure these things are in alignment. And one of them is your conscious self. This is what I'm consciously aware of. And the other is your desires. And if your desires and what you're consciously available to be right now are not in alignment, you will actually find it much more tricky to manifest the thing that you desire. So that was the trick. So let's see if we got some answers coming in. Thank goodness. All the above, yes, we got from Start Turtle. Very cool. I have not, Christina. I will honestly and transparent, faithful friendship. You're doing answers. How sneaky, right? You saw me, Christina Evans. You saw me sneak on that. Yes, I had that. I have to have that. North Star 143. Good. 8 Start Turtle nailed it. Good man. Tawny NC, I guess. I clicked because the whole cute bunny in the thumbnail, right? I mean, that's really what we're all talking about. But certainly trying to unlock some of the magic within ourselves, some of the keys that can help us manifest. So that was why I went with the analogy. Like I was telling people earlier, I was just having fun making that thumbnail. It was a whole bunch of good stuff. So I'm glad I got you in. Hopefully I don't disappoint. We'll see how you feel about all that. Jesse, sometimes yes. North Star, that was sweet of you. Sharon Combs in my head. Yes, what I wrote here, not really. All right, well, that's good, though. And the point was, there's no right or wrong here, by the way. It's an issue of just getting us to think that way, at least, again, to the point. That was kind of what my hope was on this whole interactive session today was, how can we come up with ways to kind of get people to think about things that actually benefit them, actually get them moving in the direction that they're trying to get, actually open up their minds to a few things that they didn't really think about, such as with the job thing and really doing a little research if you're going for a job. What is the income potential for that title in that area? And go into it knowing what you can negotiate. What's your wiggle room? And when you go into things like that, you can sometimes have a great deal more power. So awesome. And North Star Super Chat, you are amazing. I appreciate that. Just the donations from anybody are always cool. So, of course, anybody, always, whenever you desire to super, that is always appreciated. And then there's PayPal links as well. And again, for those of you that maybe haven't checked it out so far, if you haven't subscribed, again, always a good thing. Thumbs up, liking, and all that great stuff. Let's see. Tried to be fun. So, Miss Hill, yeah, we got you in there. And Light of Help and Ease, but I failed. Nah, Christina, you did perfect. Living Wellness, 100% Dan. I don't know how you guys do it. Honestly, committed to love and both. Good stuff, Gary. We have to be things we desire to attract what we desire. Yeah, that's exactly it. That is exactly it. You've got to be the thing you want to be in order to attract it to yourself. Yep, and when we do that, that helps. And yes, let's see, Ariel comes in. Yes, just need to seize the opportunity and stop blocking myself, which would be no, but now I see it, so yes. Good. Sounds like that's making a step in the right direction, right? Goddess Angel, somewhat, okay. Yawad Yidan Gilpin? Aw, Living Wellness, that was super sweet of you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Sharon Combs, I do have a mantra, and I am respectful. I deserve respect. I'm adventurous. I deserve adventure, etc. That is a great way to do it, Sharon. That is an excellent example. For those of you that maybe didn't quite catch that, she has a mantra where she deserves she deserves a relationship, or deserves, well, hell, I'll just say the way you say it. I deserve respect. I am respect. I deserve adventure. I am adventure. It's acknowledging that I am the thing that I desire. And that is fantastic. Tony, so you have to feel your desire if you're already attained to the present moment, right here, right now. Tony NC, I'm really glad you joined in, man. I'm glad I got you with the rabbit, man, because you look like you're all sorts of help in a second. Nicole, yes, all that I do, I give, but don't always allow. Believability has to come first. Believability, and that kind of comes into that initial self-worth thing too. You've got to understand you're worthy of that. And Nicole, especially you and me, and you are worthy, and I know you know that. But you and I have talked in real life, but you're a great person. And I want to hear more about your channel. I think that's coming sometime soon. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Purple Love is 77. Let's see. I was talking to someone else. Yeah, sorry about that. Let's see. Josephine DeMarco. Hey, Dan, you are such an inspiration to me. Well, you inspire me. I want you to know that. I have two YouTube series, one for poetry and one for movie reviews. Good for you. That's awesome. That's so fun. And Purple Love, that's very kind of you. All right, so we got no comments. If people got questions or whatever, now's pretty much, I got through all the main stuff I wanted to do for the interaction part. I only had 5 things. I mean, next time I'll be more prepared. But I am pretty good. I was hoping to start the last one at 8:52, which is right now. And I don't know, I still got more information, and I kind of messed up the time a little, but I did okay. I'm going to pat myself on the back here, because that was the first time going for it. So hopefully you guys are good. Hey, Frey, Yura, how you doing? All right, let's give another quick Neville nugget, a Goddard goodie. This is a fantastic little thing to remind all of us out there. So he says, dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part relative to its fulfillment. I want to just spend a second on this concept. It kind of ties into what Nicole just said a moment ago as well. But daring to believe in the reality of your assumption. When you have an assumption that things can work out, when you have an assumption that this can happen, not necessarily the how, exactly how, right? But that I can get to this place from, C to H, right? Like there's a few letters I got to get through. When I know I can do that, when I assume it's possible, I don't know how, got a couple obstacles in the way, I'm just going to imagine from where I have it already. And I'm going to believe it's possible. And I'm just going to focus on that until I get it. That's it. And again, I know a lot of people want to have questions and comments. Let's just assume those aren't happening all that much at the moment because those don't help. But if all you do is that, and just focus and know and have the belief that your assumption can and will come true, your world literally, like within an instant when you shift it, because I've seen it happen to myself where I turned something completely around. I was having a really negative thought about something, or I was realizing how I was blocking myself, and I immediately changed it. I wish I could give a better example, but again, so many things I'm involved with right now that are too close. But when we do that, we cause a little more harm to ourselves and then what we're trying to do. So what he's saying is dare to believe in the reality of the assumption. Believe that this can happen and watch your world change overnight. Snap of the finger, by tomorrow, you'll already start to see things. It's very powerful the way it sometimes plays out. Well, it usually plays out crazy. Sometimes it's super crazy, and it's really awesome. Nicole, cool. I'm glad you like it. I don't know. I was trying to do something that's a little more fun, a little more engaging, and hopefully give people a little more involvement and blah, 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 and make it maybe more fun, too. Who knows? We'll see. Tony NC, I can't promise I'll always have a bunny on the thing, Tony NC. I'd say I often find myself manifesting things I want but don't need much faster than the things I have burning desire for. Maybe it's because of the detachment I have towards them. Well, that and a lot of the times the burning desire for them is kind of comes from that I don't have it so much feeling. Like if you think about it from a standpoint of if you truly have something, right? If you truly have it, do you really desire it? Like, so the concept of desiring something in and of itself is somewhat separating. It's having it already that creates it. And so that I think is why when we don't care about it so much, we don't feel this separation from it. Like, yeah, it's stupid. It's easy. I can totally do that. Right? And so I've imagined it and it'll show up whenever it does. You're right. That's exactly how the manifestation would work with this other thing. It's harder, except we've created separation from it. And that's why we're not manifesting it. Let's see. Josephine DeMarco, I saw Hadestown on Broadway 2 weeks ago. I like to think of the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice. Eurydice, I think I'm saying that probably wrong. Anyway, as an allegory for the attachment of clinginess in relationships. You are obviously way more well-read, especially in Greek mythology. That was like 800 years ago when I read any Greek mythology. Orpheus is Eurydice. Which one of those? Oedipus. No, that was the one with the stab in the mother in the eye. I don't know. I can't. My Greek mythology is a little weak right now, but well done. Well, bravo from Hadestown Broadway. Bravo. I love it. Jasmine K, Dan, you're amazing. I love your videos. I love you. Hey, I love you, and you're the best. Thank you. John M, how does one know if their belief is genuine instead of just trying to convince yourself? So what the quote was that I just shared, oddly, is the believing in the assumption having the power, not so much believing that I believe, like right, like. But I mean, to your point, the belief is what creates your reality. Whatever you believe creates your reality. Doesn't matter what it is. So whether you think it's a good belief or a bad belief, whether you want to try to shift a belief to something that's a little more open. But your belief shapes what you actually experience. So whether it's genuine or not, your belief actually is one of the biggest filters that affects what you manifest. If you are trying to change a belief by assumption or just by saying, oh, it can be better, but you're not really trying to change the belief. You've still got this like, people with money suck. And you're like, I'm going to make more money. I'm going to become successful. I hate people with money. And I'm so going to be wealthy. And sky's the limit. I do all this great work, but I hate people with money. That's a bad belief that will hold you back from money. So I don't know. Hopefully that kind of answers it. But yeah, if you're convincing yourself and you got a jacked belief, you need to fix the belief. We've talked about changing beliefs by basically some form of repetition over a number of days. It's like changing a habit. Many people say roughly around 30 days you can change a habit. It's really a good way to go about trying to alter beliefs is by getting some pretty strong statements and just kind of repeatedly just beat them into your head for a while until you can start to really open yourself to this other possibility. If it's not natural, you'll never believe it. I mean, but if it's something that's believable within you, then, so again, it's a shifting. You've got to really try to shift and guide. Ms. Hildan, how does this apply if meeting men already in relationships and I don't know until I look on their social media, then I cut them off? How can I stop them coming my way? The first thing that kind of pops into me is it sounds like maybe you're a little not as open to the relationship thing as you want. Maybe you're looking for something that's a little more, I just want to date a little. I don't know. I'm not saying, but it makes me wonder if you're attracting people that are not available. So again, it's not their fault. They're showing you what's going on inside of you. So what's going on inside of you where you don't necessarily maybe want a relationship, maybe you just want fun. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much you're willing to just share with the world here, but that might be part of it. And so maybe if you're looking for something that's just a little fun, well, maybe the fact that they're married might make that easier. I'm not saying that's good. I'm not passing judgment. I'm just saying what you're attracting is based off of what's going on inside of you. I'm not judging what you're creating in your life. I'm just saying if you don't like it, then change what's going on inside of you, and you will begin to alter what you experience outside of you. Let's see. Ariel, this is slightly separate, but do you have a good reads we can follow? No. I don't even know what that is. That like books I do? I don't. I don't know what it is even, but yeah, no, I don't have anything like that. Let's see. Can we revise movie scene? Can we revise movie scenes, like scenes in movies or our movie scenes? I don't know what your Josephine. I'm not sure what your question is. Can you revise other movies? Anyway, morning sun sparkles dew on fresh grass. That is a lot of name. Belief is genuine when it affects your mood and behavior. Even if you don't know you have beliefs, they affect your behavior. So beliefs can be very subconscious too. So, I mean, I like what you're saying, but I would add a caveat to it because yours sounds like beliefs that you're aware of, and those are awesome, but not necessarily always the case. I've revised my entire high school experience, and I'm writing a YA novel. That is fantabulous. Let's see. Marco Cordero. How do you deal when your manifestation depends on a person, i.e. new job? This is part of the living in the end. Neville Goddard's talked about this, and he actually uses this as the prime example of what everyone is yourself pushed out. And this is truly where that quote, specifically that quote, came from. In this lecture, and I don't remember when and where, it was, I think, in the 60s. But he essentially was telling this, he wanted to see this man, a good friend of his, getting a promotion in work. And he imagined him standing in front of everybody at his dining room table, holding the glass, ding, 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 and congratulating, thanking everybody for being there and for celebrating this festive occasion and how excited he was. And so this is what Neville imagined his friend saying to everybody. And what his point was instead of worrying about this dude's boss who could die tomorrow, right? So I could try to focus on that dude, and then tomorrow he dies, and it's like, I just put all this manifesting energy on, he's not even the actual boss anymore. That shifted to this other guy. I've wasted all this time. No. Just hold in the end, like he says, or hold the vision of what it is that you desire, want to see. And don't worry about the people that need to be involved, places and things and all that. Don't worry about any of that stuff. It works itself out. The appropriate actors will get the parts that need to be played. It's just how it plays out. And in fact, when you're manifesting, when you're a little earlier in the game, if you will, that's one of the cooler parts of it that starts to unfold before you, that really starts to shape your belief of all this stuff too. But it's how stuff actually happens sometimes will knock your socks off. It'll absolutely blow your mind how amazing the way things can come together, the way you can randomly bump into people at the strangest places that can open doors for you. Again, everything, and I know this because I've seen it in my life, literally just by meeting people, have changed my life in one meeting, in one short discussion, have changed the entire path of my life. So anything can change in an instant. I promise you that much. Let's see, Marco, how do you deal? I already said that. Okay, cool. Let's see. True, it takes about 20-ish days to change a belief, right? It's a lot of numbers out there, 20 to 40, basically. I think a lot of people just average it around 30. But yeah, I think 28 days, there's all sorts of crazy beliefs, whatever. Yeah, I mean, Ty Lopez talked about that too. That's why he did 60 days, though, because he actually pushed it way out into some of the other literature that like really affects how long. I think it was 62 days anyway. It's been a while. So awesome. Okay, Purple Lava, like Neville say, you're see yourself at your desk happily working. Yeah, see yourself. Yeah, exactly. See yourself the place that you want to be. Don't worry about the boss. Don't worry about all that. You've still got to be the thing that they want to hire, right? Like you still got to be like, I am the person they need. I am the right person for the job. You can't be like, I want to be a doctor and I've got no medical training. Like that really would be scary, right? I don't care how much imagination juice you put into it. I don't want you operating on me. That would be frightening. So there you go. Let's see. Should I go back to paper and pen and reprioritize my desires? Why? I mean, are they not working? I don't know. I don't know, Christina. Miss Hill, I want a relationship, but I can't find someone. Okay, right there, there's a belief, your very first sentence. I think I'm losing hope because of these types of guys. So you've got this belief that all guys, so thank you. You've kind of helping me see where your internal thing is. You believe that all guys, or you believe that. So here's the thing. Here's what I want you to tell yourself. I am attracting men that are ready for a relationship. I am attracting single, awesome, wonderful gentlemen. I am attracting the most appropriate person for me. I am you're attracting the right guy. As I just said, all it takes is one person. You're just looking for that one person. Who cares about the 5,000 other crappy people? You just want to find the one good one, even though there's maybe hundreds, whatever. Focus on that. Focus on the fact that that's what you're looking for. Tell the universe, that's what I want. Not, I don't want this. I don't want to keep seeing guys that are taken. I don't want to keep... It doesn't work when you do that. If you want to experience something, you've got to say, what is it that you want to experience? That was why we were doing the experience earlier, where I was saying, what are the things you bring to the table when in love? What are the things that you want from a relationship? Are these things even remotely close? And if they are, awesome. And if they're not, that's a problem. So that's kind of some of what you've got a belief about people, and that all people are like this, that I keep having this experience, or this dating sites this particular way. Like there's a whole lot of ways this manifests itself. Change that to, I'm finding the right guys everywhere I look. It's funny. It is funny. I've recently picked 2 different guys, went on 2 different dates. Now I'm confused. I don't know which one I want to choose, right? There's a whole lot of other things that you can start to focus on that will create a very different experience for you. So change the thought and belief about what you've got going on, and you will change the experience that you have going forward. Hopefully that helps make a difference. Should I write a statement like that with what I want to experience with my SP? Should I write a statement like that with what I want to experience with my SP? Christina, I'm not sure what you're saying, sweetie. I really don't. Yes, write a statement. Write an I am statement of some kind. Match them, make sure they match. Yeah, do something like that. When people who aren't my SP are being needy and I'm not attracted, should I tell them to stop? Bad to deny people coming in, texting, making me feel compelled to answer, but it's nonstop. Wow. I'm not really fond of when people behave a certain way, of telling them how they should behave, telling them what they should do. I'm very not fond of that personally. I don't teach that. I don't do that. I don't like that. I find I recently had somebody tell me what I should do. I love that. Like, here's what you should do. Well, thank you for your advice. That's wonderful. Appreciate that. But no one likes to be told what to do. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm misunderstanding what you're saying the way it is, but I would say probably no is my general opinion. But again, you do whatever you will. I mean, I am totally up for people having freedom to do as they will. Northstar 143, I manifested one of my favorite YouTube gurus to be my friend. We talk almost daily. It was amazing. Hint, you've done an interview with him, Dan. It's really changed my life. Oh, cool. Brian? Or I don't know which guy. I mean, but that's awesome. Good for you. I haven't interviewed that many people. But there's Targon, Brian, and then Agnes. I think. Oh, yeah, and then we had the flower girl. What was her name? She hasn't chimed in today. But anyway, I've not done that many interviews. Let's see. Thanks. Helped a lot. Awesome, Miss Hill. Cool. Should I make a written list of things I want and the kind of person I want, or just it in my head? I like having the list, Osana. I like having a written list. Just one, because it's a visual thing. Two, the exercise of creating it is creative in and of itself. Requires you to think about it. Like the whole exercise of creating the list is very powerful, just period, black and white, without doing an entire video on it. But yeah, so I recommend both. I like it, and I don't just think typing it, but sometimes that's cool too. I like handwriting. I bought a special pen that I specifically use when I do notes for this show. Like it's for my YouTube. That is why I bought the pen, and that's what I use it for. And it sounds stupid maybe, but that's part of what makes it fun for me. So again, manifesting can be like that. Vision boards can be like that. All those activities, those physical things can actually be very powerful in trying to get you to think about all that. So that is awesome. Josephina's getting into some very, very cool stuff. That's awesome. See, Sharon comes. Christina, I think you are talking about scripting. That's basically what I call it. Look up a few of those videos and try it. Yeah, I mean, I've done some good scripting videos. Also some auto scripting. That might be some stuff too, but it's fun is when you just start writing. And so you might write like a question. Well, you might do a little meditation first, right? You get yourself in a good place, get your breathing under control. Then what you do is you write out like questions you have, like your higher self, your subconscious, whatever. And then you just start answering it. Don't, at first just start writing, like just whatever, just write whatever the heck you can to start writing, but then just write whatever comes into your mind. And that auto script, you'll be amazed at some of the very, very cool stuff that your subconscious is able to like barf out of your finger when you're writing. Or I've even done it verbally. Like I'll be recording. I've got a thing called Dictadroid that I use. There's probably way better recording programs because it's not very good, mind you. So don't get Dictadroid. But that being said, it's the one I use. I have for years. That's the only reason. That being said, yeah, it's a great little way to just kind of blah and then just talk, and you get that stream of consciousness going. And when you do that, it's pretty impressive. Some of the very, very cool stuff that can come through. Let's see. I have a poem on my channel. That's awesome. Let's see here. Christina, sorry, I just woke up. Statements. I mean, like my specific person enjoys doing things with me, i.e. like nature walks, picnic, movie nights, etc. Automatic writing. Yeah, so I caught your attention with that too. Yes. Yes to your first question. Yes, special persons enjoys doing things. Yeah, script out different things. It's always a good idea to have that. It's a good idea to process through those, come up with other scenes. Again, Goddard talks about giving it action, kind of giving some 3D to it. You can't always from your perspective is preferred. You want to be in the moment. You want to be experiencing it. Then you want to be thinking from it and not of it, or you don't think it, right? Like you're in it at the time. You're actually experiencing it. When you do that, it can be extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. Oddly, I'm going to go ahead and share really quick since we're running out of questions anyway, but I got another cool little Neville nugget here, another Goddard goodie, to say the least. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. Now, this is very cool. This came out of The Power of Awareness, which is definitely one of the books in the Complete Reader. I have so abused this book, by the way. I can't even say, like, I've got pages that are loose. Like this, I've destroyed the binding of this. I have just chewed this book up. This book has been my breakfast, lunch, and dinner on numerous occasions, let me just say. But anyway, it's in here. Link below if you guys like the book. It's awesome. It's got like 10 books in it, man. It's fantastic. So assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route. Like your attention will oftentimes gravitate. I'm trying to get a new job, trying to get a company. Like your attention will be like, oh, your resume. Oh. Instead of going, oh, no. Like, well, no, your attention just went to something that maybe you need to worry about. Or, oh, we need to get some clothes for an interview. Or, oh, maybe I need to get a haircut. My hair is a mess. And if someone sees me, I might not look professional. Or maybe I'm trying to get into a loving relationship and you're like, oh, I really want to be with this person. And you're like, but they're really upset with you. And that's what pops into your attention. It's like, all right, well, that's what I need to deal with, right? That's what's popping. That's what my attention just followed. And it kind of helps us understand where we can go with things. Or the same exact example, but in a more positive way, trying to manifest a specific person. I'm thinking about them. It's like, you should text them and say it's a beautiful day. Maybe we could meet up down at Starbucks and just shoot it out and see what happens. What's the worst thing that happens? They say no. All right, big whoop, no big deal. But you're coming across as a nice person, not being neat, right? Like you just phrased the perfect message, and that was your desire. You're thinking about what you wanted, and then your attention went to this idea. And then a lot of us follow it up with thoughts. Oh no, don't want to do that. Don't want to follow that. God knows what could happen. And when we do, we talk ourselves out of great inspired action. So we need to understand by holding the desire of something, the inspired action kind of shows itself. And then we think about it and ruin it. So it's kind of getting used to that first impulse, that first thought. So assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. It's very telling. what happens when your attention follows different routes. Again, my intention with this video to kind of unlock that inner magic. When we start to find these little places where we hold ourselves back, we can change our lives overnight. I kid you not. I've had like amazing things happen like literally in one day, and a lot of the times it's just evolution of thought and understanding and experiences, and then you come to an aha moment or an epiphany, and bam, all of a sudden everything is it just changes, and it's fantastic when it happens. I love The Power of Imagination. It's a great book. Absolutely great book. Thank you, Purple Lover. And Autumn Beauty, I love that completely. It's like the all thing. It's the best book. And again, I got to say it again. Morning sun sparkles dew on fresh grass. That is an awesomely long name, but I love it. Scripting works well. As a title, I always write this question: what is the best feeling I can imagine? Then I script a day of my ideal life with feeling being my only compass. Huh, that's kind of cool. That's a neat little thing. And again, yeah, if that's your thing that you're into, and again, feeling's the secret. It's all about feeling. So the more time we can spend in the feeling of things, the better. I would assume it probably depends on the feelings to some degree. And sometimes feelings are just like thoughts. They're some sort of pointless. Like I feel great about triangles, right? Like triangles are lovely. I mean, maybe I'll see more triangles, right? All of a sudden there's buildings that are triangular. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, get one of those little ding-a-ling-a-ling triangles. All right, so anyway, we got one more quote here. Let's go ahead and bust this guy out, and then if we got no more questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Let's see. Stop trying to change the world, since it is only the mirror. Man's attempt to change the world by force is as fruitless as breaking a mirror in hope of changing his face. Leave the mirror and change your face. Leave the world alone and change your conceptions of yourself. That's out of Your Faith is Your Fortune. Once again, Neville Goddard. So stop trying to change the world. And so many of us do this. So many of us forget the way things happen. The world happened because of what's going on inside of me, what's going on inside of you, what's going on inside of all of us. All of us create a collective world. I create an individual world. We in my neighborhood create a neighborhood world. We all have a collective conscious that kind of extends further and further out. We all share in beliefs and creations. And so if we don't like what's existing in the outer world, so many of us try to fix the outer world, try to say, no, you can't do that. But it's like, that's not what creates that behavior. And you can't try to stop something after it's already happened. You can't say, no, go back into the womb, child. We're not ready for you, right? You can't do that. When it's time, it's time. So fixing what's inside is how you resolve what's outside. And whenever you try to do it in the other order, it's pointless. It's pointless. It doesn't work at all because you're chasing your tail. And you can't get anywhere when you're constantly chasing your tail and going backwards and doing this other thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Yeah, right? Like, it's ridiculous. So hard to do when you keep doing that. So the quote is amazing. And when we start to realize all these little places where we're trying to change other people, trying to get somebody to be a different way, something outside of ourselves, I'm trying to change. Stop. Unlock the inner magic in you. Seriously, take a step back from what you've been doing. Try something. Do me a favor. Change what's going on inside of you. Look at what's happening inside of you. Look at where maybe you've got some views about this particular thing that aren't quite right. Change what's inside of you. Understand that if something outside of you is wrong, it's something inside of you that's creating it, or at least, again, I've talked about it, your filters. It's allowing you to see it. All these crazy things are in front of you right now. They all are right in front of you. But we put on specific filters based off beliefs, based off what we think and feel and yada, yada. We put on beliefs, and that's all we see. Even though right next to the bad thing I see, right next to it is a man saving a child from a fire. But I don't see that because I see this guy over here yelling at a woman. I don't know why those are the examples that popped up, because they're both ridiculous, by the way, if you think about it. Anywho, if I expect to see men behaving poorly all over the place, well, yeah, I'm going to see examples of that everywhere. If I just know that people are heroic and so many wonderful heroic things happen, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing firemen running into building and pulling babies out, or dogs or cats or something, whatever. no animals should be harmed in this testing of this video. But anyways, these are the things that I try to keep in mind when I'm trying to adjust my life. If there's something that's not working, I need to adjust it. Like I've said before, for me, I'll start seeing red lights and crap. That's like my first indication that I'm off. I get a good little sign really quickly that I'm off kilter. And the second I see it, it's like, whoa, okay, we need to get things back in line. Your thoughts have been a little goofy lately. You have been thinking bad. You're having this little argument with this person you work with in your head over and over. Stop. Like, revise that. Fix it. Get over it. Whatever. Either way, stop having that conversation in your head over and over because you're not helping yourself. So, good to keep these in mind. Hopefully this all makes a bit of difference. Love you guys, man. You guys are the best. I hope this new little format kind of worked out. I had fun doing this. I thought it was pretty cool. But, yeah, we'll see. Try something similar next week. I'm realizing coming up with topics week after week is going to be, it's already hard to make a video every day, but what the hell? Let's make it harder. I love a challenge. That's right, Dan Radio Style. Hope you guys are good. Christina, thanks for joining us. Hafsa Mohammed, thank you for joining us. Sorry, you had a question in there we didn't really have time to get into, but thank you. Dan's, Gary's awesome. Miss Hill, thank you. Mark Jones. Good stuff. Morning sun sparkles dew on fresh grass. No, that's not 17 different people. One person. And thank you for joining us. Nicole, Christina, awesome, awesome, awesome. Autumn Beauty. We got North Star 143, Josephine DeMarco, and all of her literature prowess. Thank you for joining us. Afsana, Miss Hill. I'm so afraid to say your name, Afsana. I feel like I always say it wrong, and I know you reminded me how to say it, and I fail. And it's because it's in my head. You see, I'm creating this. It's my problem. I should just say, I know how to say your name, and then I'll just start saying it with confidence. And you'll be like, Ariel, thank you for joining us. Josephine again, all over the place. Love it. Thank you, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Stan Radio Style. We'll be doing this again. Same bad time, same bad channel next week. If you haven't already, subscribe. Click the little bell notification. Bling! So you get notified when I do videos. I do some cool stuff throughout the week, every day. And yeah, click like, thumbs up, all that good stuff if you want to help the channel. Always appreciate it. And if the Super Chat people are still here, thank you guys. Namaste. You're the best. And all those donations always help make this so much easier for me to do. I very much appreciate that. Thank you guys. Love you. Peace out. Dan Radio Style.